Greetings, I'm Databot9000 and I'm here to introduce you to the Singapore Tableau user group Livestream. It's the first one we've done, so hopefully all the bugs have been ironed out, and yeah, we'll be starting shortly. See you soon. Hi, Databot9000 back here again to just tell you whilst you're waiting, why not check out this link to find out more about the Singapore Tableau user group. Here you better look at our Tableau public information page or when the next upcoming events are, where they are and when. And also you can join the LinkedIn group to stay connected with everyone. Are you filling it out? I can't tell. I'll assume you are. Okay, see you soon. Bye. Hi, whilst you're waiting, I'll tell you a few data viz related jokes. Hopefully they don't scare you away. Okay. I made a graph showing my past relationships. It had an x-axis and a y-axis. Okay, joke number 2. Never trust maths teachers who use graph paper. They're always plotting something. Okay, this one's better. Did you hear about the famous analyst at the Ford Motor Company? People were always asking him for his autographs. Okay, this one's gold, I promise. What's a sheep's favorite graph type? A bar graph. Okay, there's only enough fun for one time. So I'm going to leave you now, and yeah, we're going to start shortly. See you soon. Bye. Hi, Databot 9000 back again. Just want to say thanks to all the speakers we've got today, and also for you, the audience. Given these challenging times where we're probably having to work from home, it's great to see that we can still engage with you and help the community remotely via this live stream. So thank you for turning up, and look, hopefully we don't have to do too many more of these. But if the situation continues, we'll keep pumping them out. And the great thing is, this is global; anyone can join. So even though it says Singapore Tableau User Group, tell your friends wherever you are, and you can check it out. And the best thing is, because this is on YouTube, it's recorded. So essentially, you're going to be able to see this later as well. So if you're watching this in the past, hello. But equally, you can share it with people if they missed it live. So thanks again. We're excited to bring this to everyone. And we hope you enjoy it. And we're going to start very soon. The countdown time is nearly ended. So watch this space. Bye. Okay, and I'm just hearing that we're good to go. So without further ado, here's the Singapore Tableau User Group live stream. Enjoy!
Hi everyone, welcome to our Singapore Tableau User Group here on the 6th of August. I'm really looking forward to what we've got up in line for today. We've got some great content. You can see us all here right now, so you will in a minute. So on here today we've got David Murphy, who is our resident co-leader here with us. We've got Jia with us as well, and Celine. And I'm also really excited to be introducing you to 3 Tableau Ambassadors, and you're going to learn a lot more about what that entails in a minute. So we've got Meera, we've got Yong, and we've got Swaget. Welcome, guys. Okay, so let me just share my screen here. Okay. Here we go. So we've already had our little introduction, and today we're going to be looking at the Tableau Ambassadors. So we're going to meet some of the Tableau Ambassadors, and we're going to give you some tips as well. And then Jar's going to go in and give us some more information, which is really great, on Tableau dual axes and the magic of that. Then hopefully we're going to have a bit of space for some Q&A, and a little bit about Celine's going to introduce something exciting that's coming, Tableau Live, and we've got a little bit of an announcement at the end as well. So really looking forward to all this content. So Tableau Ambassadors, what are the Tableau Ambassadors? There are 122 ambassadors globally, and you've got the the enjoyment of 4 of them talking to you today. So the Tableau Ambassador program has been around for a little while now. It grows every year, and each year as well they add a new category. And last year they added the Student Ambassador category, which Yong will talk you through, being our resident student ambassador here in Singapore. So the mission of the Tableau Ambassador program is to recognise community members who connect, collaborate and share, because they realise the value of helping people see and understand their data. So really awesome stuff. Like I said, there's a couple of different categories of Tableau ambassadors. So once again, myself, Sarah Burnett, I am a social media ambassador. Today with us as well, we also have Swaget and Meera, who are Tableau public ambassadors. And then we've got Yong, who is one of our student ambassadors. So really exciting stuff. And I'm sure you're going to get some great tips out of our ambassadors here today. So 2 groups of ambassadors that are not represented here today are our forum ambassadors and our user group leader ambassadors. So our forum ambassadors, really, you'll see them actively engaging on the forum. And for those that don't know about the forum, it's a great space to go and to ask questions or to find answers that people have already asked. It recently got a massive overhaul, so it's a lot more intuitive, lot more interactive, lot more search friendly, and you can find lots of information there. So I do recommend checking out the forum, and then you may see some of these forum ambassadors there. I know a lot of them answer a lot of questions and really great engagement. Additional to that, there are the user group leader ambassadors. So here again, like ourselves being user group leaders, these people are really at the core of being user group leaders, and they are ambassadors for that. So on to a social ambassador. So this is the type of ambassador that I am, and this is really people that engage with the community, and we help to drive some of the social media campaigns as well, and find kind of fun ways to engage in this. Predominantly Tableau spends a lot of time in Twitter, but I see a lot of engagement in LinkedIn as well, and Facebook with things like Facebook Live and stuff like that. So some really great stuff. And I just wanted to segue quickly into one that has recently become quite exciting, which is the data fam feedback. And this is something that Sam Parsons has kind of pushed out there, and it's a really great new initiative that's come as part of the Tableau community. And you can hashtag data fam feedback, and it's a great area on Twitter or LinkedIn and potentially Facebook. If you hashtag that, there are ambassadors and people that are generally interested in giving feedback that are there to give constructive feedback, and I've seen some great examples of it already. So if you've done a great viz and you want to get some feedback from anyone, recommend you put it out there and hashtag that, and you'll get some great interaction. So now moving on to me, I'm going to give you 3 of my kind of favorite tips of the moment. This one comes from a while ago actually, and I completely stole it from Lindsay, who was one of the Iron Viz contestants in the last year conference, which seems like a bit of a lifetime ago now, when we used to all be able to hang out face to face. But this tip, the whole crowd, I think, in Las Vegas went wild when she did this tip. And I think it's a great one, and I still think like not a lot of people know about it, so I'm going to share it with you now. Now, effectively what it is it's a really easy way to create a lot of calculations if you need to. So let me just exit out of the presentation here, and I'm going to go in and open up Tableau. And what I've got here is I've got a few calculations that I've built. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, and this is going to look a little bit strange, but I'm going to put them all in a new calculation here. Now, what is really exciting is if you see here, I've given it a double backslash and a title. Now, if you watch this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that and I'm going to drag it. And you'll see down here, it has created that calculation, which I think is awesome. It's such a time saver. So again, I'm going to do that and you'll see it's created those. And I'm going to do it again and it's created that. So that in itself is pretty awesome, right? But the other thing that I really like about this is if for any reason I've got a whole lot of calculations that I've got year-based and now I want them to be maybe day-based as well. I can come into any kind of tool that's got a search and replace. I can replace them all. And then I can come back into here and I can create a calculated field like this. And what I can do is I've now got my current year and now I can have my current day as well. So I'm just creating the calculations that I need with very little effort. So you'll see they're all there. So I think that's a really awesome technique. I love using that. If you've got particularly a lot of calculations that you're going to have to create, I think that's a really fun way to do it. Okay, now my second tip is the power of colors. So I love using a great tool that Andy Kriebel actually recommended in a Makeover Monday. It's called coolers.co. And this is if I'm starting to make up a new color palette. It's all free. I can just come in here, start the generator. And by hitting the space bar, I get a whole lot of different colors as I go. I can lock in colors and it will kind of build colors that are palatable with those colors. So really awesome. But what I'm going to show you here today is a little bit different, is on using the preferences TPS file to create some diverging sequential numbers. So say, for example, I quite like this color here. So one thing I can do is I can come in and I can copy it. Then I can also go into my preferences. So I just search in my applications for preferences TPS file. And based on what version you have, you'll either see some information here or you'll just see some information like this. And then what you can do is you can create different color palettes. So you can do sequential by typing this prefix here, diverging, or you can even just have regular. So today I'm going to show you through sequential. Now there is a great user guide on this, which I've linked in the presentation, which Tableau goes into a huge amount of detail around this, so you don't need to write it all down now. But effectively what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my new color that I like. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put that in my second color. And then what I also like about the Coolers website is I can come in here and I can find different shades. So that's kind of the mid color, and I can go darker or I can go lighter. So in this example, I'm going to go a bit lighter and I'm going to grab that color as well. And I'm going to come and put it in here, just like that. So I'm going to save this, which is going to save back to my Tableau file. Now, one trick for new beginners is you need to actually exit out of Tableau in order for your preferences guide to save. So I'm just going to quit out of there, and then I'm going to just come back in and open up Tableau again. Just like that, and come in here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my, let's have a look at order date. Let me just, grab something here, and then I'm going to grab maybe my sales. I'm just looking using the Superstore data set, and I might just color my order date. Yeah, and now what I can do is I can come in here and I can, oh, here we go, my sequential, that's what I called it. And you'll see here, it's gone from that light color that I chose to that dark color, and it's everything in between. So by hitting assign palette, now I've effectively assigned a sequential color palette. So I think that's a really great method of using the color palette in a slightly different way. So that's tip number 2. Now for tip number 3 is another feature of Tableau on the Tableau public. So when you're posting up your viz that I really like, and that is when you're building something, sometimes it's not all your own idea, and you may have got inspiration from somewhere else. So a while ago, Tableau gave the ability to allow you to put a who inspired you link. So here, for example, this was a visualization that I built for a Makeover Monday, and I really wanted to try out this no polygons technique that Kevin Farage presented. So here I could easily like tag him as my inspiration, which was super easy. Just when I publish this up, I could come in and add his link for inspiration, and it's really great because then if people come in and look at inspiration, it'll take straight to his dashboard, which I think is an awesome way of giving credit to people. We used to kind of just put the credit maybe down here in the dashboard itself, but I think that's a really cool way of giving inspiration. I think the Tableau community is a great community where everyone shares, and I think it's really awesome when people just kind of take credit and share it out of who gave them the inspiration. So with that, I am going to now, those are my 3 tips. I hope you enjoyed them. I'm now going to pass you over to Swaget.
Oh, thanks, Sarah. These were like very nice tips. So presenting, so coming to, I am basically a public ambassador. Screen. Yep. So I'm basically public ambassador along with Meera. So the expectation, like what we basically do is we like along with other authors, we build different dashboards. I mean, other than the one which is like pre-default, it is there. And then we collaborate with the public dev team and on the programs like Iron Viz and suggest for Viz of the day. And then what we do is we upvote or we nominate people for the new public authors. So these are the few of the roles and responsibilities which we have. And I'll be sharing few tips today on Tableau. So basically it will be like 3 tips. One is on changing the X and Y axis based on a parameter, and then a group bar chart. And the final one will be using measure names in parameter action. So going out from here, and let's get started on the work. Okay, so first is X and Y axis based on parameter. So this is basically one of the day-to-day business case you get when you want to give the end user the option to select how they want the access to be. So we'll just go with the simple global superstore data, and I want to create the X and Y axis, like give the end user the option to filter. So first what we'll do is we'll create a parameter, Since I'm going to use the order date, so I'll just write date, make it into string, give a list, enter all the options you want to give. So I'll make it day, week, month, quarter, and year. That's it. So we got this, and next we have to write is a calculation. It's like date selection. So I already have the calculation written here. So it's a if else condition. So what this does is, whatever the selection the user makes, it changes the axis based on that. Okay. Done. So what I'll do is I'll get the date selection in the row columns. Next step is make it exact date. Now what I'll do is I'll create, okay, first what I'll do is I'll show only one axis. Maybe next we can do is couple of axes. So what next is show the parameter, show parameter here, and I'll make it into a list. So if you see when we change, it changes the graph. And little bit with the new functionality provided by Tableau, I'll go and do an animation to it so that you feel a bit, oh wow, it moves in a certain way. This is like x-axis. Now if we want to create, okay, we want to give both the axis option, maybe I'll just create one more wherein I put measures in it. I'll take sales, discount, profit, and okay, be 3. We have to do the same thing, right? Write a calculation to invoke this. Again, I have a calculation already written. So here I have used a case statement. We don't have quantity. Sure. Selection. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'll replace sum of sales with the measure selection. Okay. Now I have to get this measure into parameter so that user would be able to change it. So now it changes, like you can see sales, discount, profit based on day, year, day, week, month, or year, or quarter. So this is the first one, changing x and y axis based on parameter. Next is group bar chart. So open again, I'll take region into the column, maybe rows. Okay, let's filter out the region just to east, west, north, and central. So east, north, south, west, and central. Okay. Now I want to make it based on the segments. So I'll get the segments here. So you have consumer, corporate, and home office. Now I'll drag, say, sales into the, okay. And to make it tied to each other, so what I'll just increase the bar size. Okay. Next, I'll put segment into color. Okay, now, so there is no space in between them. Let's get a space. So what we'll do is to analysis, go to total, add subtotal. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll hide this segment. Okay, still total is there. So what I'll do is format. And you see the total. Okay. This format and okay, something went wrong. It's back here, format, and I want to remove this total. Remove this total. It's gone, and I'll go to colors, edit, give this a white background. Okay. Okay, now it's there and hide header. Then I can make the region format at the center, but it's not coming at the center. If you see, if for it considers 4 bars, but ideally we should show it in this corporate. So we have to come up. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just write a calculation again. Let's see, and what I'll do is create a calculator field called region and sit here. So what it does, it places it on the second from the top. Done. Hit the region here. Hide this region. A bit of formatting. Okay, so if you see, it's only showing for one. So let's make it based on the segment. So compute using segments. And now, bit of formatting. So this comes at the center of it. So it's like a really nice, like a bit of more formatting. And we can do is get the sum of sales into the labels. Okay, so if you see, if you are showing the label, still this number is coming. So what we can do is go to label, go to the font, match marks. So it automatically picks up it as white. This is shown. So this is the second tip, like group bar chart. Third is, again, using a measure in parameter action. So let's go to a third sheet. What I'll do is I will just use the sheet and just get this sales. Okay, let's start from the beginning, maybe. Let it be here. Visuals into text. And what we need is this. And then filter the measure names. Okay, edit filter. I'll just need the discount, the profit, and the sales. So I'll just remove rest. Have all three. Now let me create a parameter called, again, I'll just measures. And what I'll do is I'll keep it as this type of string and one allowable is all, and I'll just make it okay. I think I did something wrong. Okay, I'll just remove this here And then what I'll do is I'll get this measure name in 2 columns, maybe entire view, alignment, center, and center. Okay, so this is one sheet, and next is I'll get this date selection, let it be here. I'll just remove this. I'll get the sales in here. My card. Now let's go to a dashboard. Let me drag this here and drag this here. Okay, just keep it to weeks. And I'll go to dashboard, actions, and add action, and change parameter from sheet 1.1 to target value is measures, field measure names, aggregation, none. Okay. So now if we click, nothing is happening. Now we need to write a calculation in this. So what we have to do is, if this measures is selected, so again I have the calculation written. Once see, now I'll create a calculated field called, I'll just name it as try, and sit here, get into measures. Measures and measures. Okay, so then what I'll do is I'll use that in the rows. Okay, let's go back here and now let's try the sales. You see it's now changing based on whatever selection you are making, be it profit, sales, discount. So this is the third tip. Addition to that, it's a bonus tip I can
think that's
share.
really awesome, Swaget. And I think from memory, you told me that you've posted some of this up on Tableau Public as well, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
The link
yeah.
is present in the deck.
Okay, I just think in the essence of time, we might need to pass over to Meera. So thanks for putting a bonus tip together. But I think we're going to have to keep moving on this.
Yeah.
Thanks, Swaget.
Yeah.
Over to you, Meera.
Yeah. All right, I will share my screen now. Can you all see my screen? Just confirm if you can. All right, awesome. Okay, so just a quick introduction about myself. I'm Meera, and I'm one of the Tableau public ambassadors as well. So as Swaget mentioned, one of our key responsibilities is, to help out with IronViz as well. So this year, I'm really happy to say that I'm one of the first round judges, and I'm so looking forward to it because it has been overwhelming, and there are about more than 300 entries this year, which is really, really amazing. So let's see who wins this year. Okay, so if you all can see my screen now, I'll be presenting 2 tips. One is more on formatting, on showing the power of padding that Tableau has, and also the other one is going to be the difference between reference lines and Gantt bar, so when to use both. Okay, for the first tip, the one that I have here is for a project that I did. I co-hosted, which is called as Workout Fitness Day. If you've heard of it, or if not, just Google and you'll be able to see some awesome challenges out there. So this tip is basically to, as I said, to get you see the power of padding, right? Okay, now that I have the dashboard ready, so this is a fixed height and width, right? So I do have sales and profit here, but what if I want to add, say for example, like, like another metric that you would want to see, right? So in that case, if I just go and increase the height here, then what happens is it increases, the height of all the sheets that you see here. But instead, I don't want that to happen. So what I'll do is I'll just go back a minute. And if I select the container and do an edit height, and just fix it to say, I want this to be fixed to 500, right? Now, if I increase the height of my dashboard, the other views still remain the same, right? Now I can add a text to it or whatever I do. The height of my other views remains the same. So this explains, how effective a tiled dashboard can be. If you have all your sheets floating, then it's going to be really hard for you to, if it's a longer viz, then it's going to be really hard for you to design it. So you have to be mindful before you start creating a dashboard. You have to be really mindful about it. So just always go for using, tiled containers. So if you see, all of my sheets here are tiled. Now, coming to padding, so the gray background that you see around my sheets, so if I go to layout for a minute, so on all of these sheets, I've given, outer padding. So which kind of, so basically, if I select the container again, for example, I've given a background, which is a light gray, right? And then I've set these individual sheets. So I've given, a left padding, a top padding, and a bottom padding, and a right padding as well. So then it gives me a proper space between the sheets as well, and it kind of highlights and separates them away. So this is like, something that you can take care of before you start building a dashboard. Now, my other tip would be around, when to use a reference line and when to go for a Gantt bar. Okay, now if you see, this is on the right-hand side, I have a chart with the reference line, right? Now, when I hover on it, I do see, a tooltip, which doesn't make sense. So, and also the size of the reference line is kind of, what if I want to reduce it, right? You can't really do with reference lines. So if I go to the sheet with the Gantt bar, so basically, instead of just using a reference line, you can use that as another axis and, just do a dual axis on it, and you will see the effectiveness of, the dual axis here. So when you do that, then you'll have full control of, adjusting the size of your Gantt bar. If you see, you can reduce it and increase it. And also, you can edit the tooltip. So in my example, I have not given, I don't want to show anything when I hover on it, right? So you can just leave it blank. So, so it's better to go for a Gantt bar when you want more control. And so that's one thing. And one more just extra one is when I go to the sheet, say, for example, you have, a lot of data sources, and you would want to use that for, you would be connecting that to multiple workbooks, right? So what you can do is, say, for example, if I go to data and go to this is my data source, and just give add to save data sources, right? So you can save it to your, to the Tableau repository. And when I get save, okay, now it's saved, right? Now what happens is, if you go to the start page, it's saved as, one of the data sources. So this helps you quickly to connect whenever if you open a new workbook, and if you want to connect to, the most frequently used data sources, you can just go here and, it just basically connects to it. Yeah, so that's basically from me, and I hope you enjoyed it. I will now pass it over to Yong to present his tips.
All right. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Yong. So I'm the student Tableau ambassador. It's always great to be the youngest one of the group. So what do I do as a student Tableau ambassador is that I'll engage and educate the student community on Tableau and get them excited about data analytics in general. So how do I achieve this is I'll work with them and of course student clubs to host like mini competitions and of course workshops for them. At the same time, I also work with professors to integrate Tableau into their curriculum. So this means designing projects, Tableau-related projects for the students, or creating case studies for the students to work on as well, and also co-conducting lessons with them. I'm active in social media as well. So I'll share a lot of content on social media via my Tableau public link, Medium, and LinkedIn to engage the student community as well. As us students, we are always very active on social media. So now for the tips I'll share today, together with Jia, we'll be sharing about the magic of Tableau dual axis. So for me, I'll head right into Tableau and share with you more about dumbbell charts right now. All right. Okay. So what is a dumbbell chart? It's a great chart for visualizing to compare dimensions. So for example, right now, I have the sales of subcategories. And not only that, I can compare them year on year. So right here, you see, I have the sales of accessories for 2017, and I can compare them easily with the sales of accessories for 2016. Okay. So the whole dumbbell chart is basically made up of two portions. Firstly, we have the line right here, and next we'll have the two circles right here. So I'll show you right now how to create the dumbbell chart. Firstly, I'll place subcategory and the sales to visualize them. Right now, by automatic, a bar chart will be created. I can set it to circle for now. And let me just flip this right around. So to add in more detail to the graph, let's say I want to compare the year-on-year changes. So I can just add in the order date into the color. So right now, I have 4 years within a single content, within a single subcategory. So right now, I just want 2 years. In fact, I want to compare the 2 recent years for this data set, which will be 2016 and 2017. And there you have it. You have the circle set. So right now, in order to create the line that connects the circle, I just have to drag some sales again. And right now, on the right side of my page is where I'll create the line. So how do I do this? Currently, it's in circles. So to create a line, simply just change the circle to a line graph. But however, Tableau will sense that I want to connect the line within the various subcategories, which I don't want to do so in the dumbbell chart. So I just have to drag the year right here to the path. And Tableau will connect the paths by the year. So if you dislike the color of the line, you can change it to your liking. And I'll just have to click on dual axis to combine them right here. So right now, if some of you are frustrated with the black line covering a little bit, you can switch around the axis and the black line won't be overlapping the circles. So the dumbbell chart is pretty flexible. Instead of just using for years, you can in fact use it for other purposes as well. So for example, if I want to replace it by region, for example, so let me put it to color and path. And I'll filter it to south and west. So here I only have, I can compare between the south and west sales for accessories just by switching the dimensions right in the marks column. So here I have it. This is the tips and tricks I have to create a dumbbell chart for now, I'll pass on the time to Jia to go and sharing some other dual axis trick. Hope you enjoy.
Thank you so much, Yong and every other tip by our ambassadors and team there. Really fantastic. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm brave, so I'm going to share my entire screen. and I've been thinking, so why did we call this the magic of Tableau dual axes, right? Like I've been thinking about this for a while, and it's always a really fun topic to explain. And the reason why I kind of call it magic is because it gives you so much flexibility in making your chart. So this is just one example here. I'm going to show you 4 of them, but I really want to talk about the concept and the thinking process behind it, because what's happening is that we are able, right, to use a dual axis chart to really create 2 layers within a viz, right? And because I'm using dual axes, I have 2 measures, and then I get 2 or 3 marks cards that I can manipulate and control independently of each other, which allows me to create some pretty unique things. I'm not limited, right, to one map, to one line, right? I can take a bar chart and combine it with a line chart. And you'll see us go through kind of iterations of this as we build these 4. I'm conscious of time, so I will just move a little bit faster than maybe we would normally. So let's explore how we do this with a map. So let's say I want to look at a map of the United States, right? Let's go ahead, throw a country on detail. It's going to make me a map. I'll throw state on detail. I'm going to put a filter for the United States. There's lots of cities and states there, so it's just easier for us to use that as an example. So we'll do that. Throw that in. And then here's the map of the US. Let's go ahead and throw city on there and just have a view, right, of sales and profit. We've seen this chart a lot before. Some cool little tips is if you want to make the bubbles pop a little bit more, turn down the transparency to 75, 60, add a little black border. That makes everything pop up. Tweak size, however much you want, right? So great. We see this, but what's also interesting is that, well, with the US, we have 4 different regions, right? We have East, South, West, and Central. There's no North. I've always wondered why, but recently I've realized that, hey, it's just Canada. No, sorry, my Canadian friends are not gonna let me live that one down, so I'll hear it from them about that one. But just all jokes aside, right, we have 4 different regions. And so you'll see that if I throw region on color, it's gonna change my chart. If I, right, removed any of the fields, it changes my viz. So I want to build a visualization that will still show me all my sales in each city and profit, but I also want to be able to highlight the 4 different regions, right? So there's my problem. How do I display this information all at once? Well, that's why we have a dual axis, because it allows me to create some magic, because I'm able to take this latitude, just field here, duplicate it, move it to the right, hold Control or Command if you're on a Mac, and now you have 2 maps, right? And if you can see here, we have 3 different cards. And so if I do this, I can cheat a little bit, because now I have the second axis that I can play with, and I'm able to take things like city off, right? Take sales and profit off. And now I'm left with, right, another map. Let's change it from automatic to map. Let's go ahead and throw region on color, and look at that. Now I have 2 different regions. Let me reset the color here for a second, because I want to show you what it looks like by default, right? So here we have 2 maps. Now we created dual axis. You guys already know how to do that. Right click dual axis and voila, right? You've had it. As Yong was mentioning, if you wanted to move the marks up or down, just move the latitude and longitude pill over. And look, we managed to create that, right? And so this is something really unique, because now you can play with this, right? And take this concept, transfer it to other charts that you're going to build. One thing I do want to highlight is think about your use of color, right? How does this apply to visual best practices? Well, does blue here mean sales and blue here mean central, right? There's a conflict of colors here. And so one little strategy and tip I'd like to just point out is use gray strategically, right? Sarah talked about using gradients, creating a gradients of different colors. You can use that technique. I'll choose the color gray here. I have different gradients. Click on assign palette. It assigns a shade of gray for each. And then here, now we have a totally different chart that still conveys, right? We still see each city with its sales and profit, but we also see each region with a different color of gray, and there's no kind of conflict of colors. So quick little tip here with a map, right? You can take latitude or longitude, duplicate it, make your dual axis, explore. The second one I want to share is making a donut chart, which is the more delicious version of a pie chart. And the concept really behind it is as well, right? I will create a pie chart, and then I will create kind of another pie chart or a circle in the center of it, have 2 layers, and this allows me to create it. So very quickly, I chose this example because previously the way that you would build a donut chart is you would use number of records, but in the latest version, we don't have number of records anymore, right? Because Tableau has that new data model. So I want to just show you, hey, how do we go and build that? So super easy way to do that is start off changing this to a pie. Very easy. Take category onto color and pick your measure, throw it onto angle, right? And then we have a pie chart, right? Let's give it a label. Give it some figures there. Okay, great. How do we get that other circle right inside here? Well, you would need some axes to be able to make a dual axis, right? I have nothing on rows and columns, so I can't do a dual axis right now. So how do I fake create some axes? And the way that you do this, you can do a couple of different things. You used to take number of records, right? Throw minimum number of records up there, throw another copy of minimum records up there, and then you would have it. Since we don't have minimum records here anymore, you can take average of 0, or you can just use a calculation of 1, right? Because actually number of records used to just be 1. And what this does is if I take 1 and I place it up, you'll see here it's going to give me the sum of 1, which is actually counting every single record in the Excel. This is Global Superstore, by the way. And then we can just right click that, change it to a minimum. You can then copy it, move it over. Look, I've fake created 2 axes, right? Create a dual axis now. Right click, create a dual axis. Don't forget, if you're doing this technique, always synchronize it. And then you can kind of hide the headers so that they kind of go away, right? And we're just, again, like leveraging that magic. There are 2 charts on top of each other, so it doesn't look like anything's different. But if you click on all and size, maximize that, right? You'll see now I have kind of this duplicate. What's happening? Well, I have 2, right, layers. Let's go ahead for this layer. Just take everything off, right? Play with the size with both of them so that you get it to a point that you're happy with. Get it to 2 layers, and then you'll see, hey, look, it's actually just a circle there. If you click on color, make it white, there you go, right? And then now I can drag fields onto this second layer. So maybe I would take sales and put that onto label. So now that I have, right, sales up, it's there. And then if you wanted to, you can type, right, total sales inside there, get that in, remove the labels so that when you mouse over this, there's no label. And then you can also get rid of this little line there by right-clicking format. All right, go ahead, right-click format, top left-hand corner. It's under lines, 0 lines. Just go ahead and choose none, and it's gone. So I'll leave you guys to play with that a little bit there. It's a new way of doing it. Before you'd use number of records. Now just make your own calculation. Super easy. One more. Well, that's not true. 2 more. I'll be quick. Here is a lollipop chart, just kind of a little fancier bar chart. The point of it really is 1, it's a little bit spicier. It's cool. And then 2 is that you have this little bubble there that lets you have more space to put text inside. So the way that you do this really is actually just a bar chart as well. So we'll build it, double click category, double click subcategory, drag sales up. That's one axis, drag sales up. That's 2 axes. Right click, select a dual axis. They've turned everything into circles. That's okay. Let's go ahead and select all, select bar for both of them. Now they're all bars. Select the second layer, change this one to a circle, right? Make this entire view so it's bigger, and then just click that first layer and turn the bar a little smaller, right? Make the bar a little smaller, make the circle a little bit bigger, and there you go. Like, you're done, right? There's a few visual best practices that I did there, which was, one, not make the circles too big. The second one could be something like dragging sales onto labels, right? And then what I would do is, if you're looking at lots of numbers, change this to 170K, change this to 80K, 70K, because then you can click on label and alignment. And then if you click center, that brings them to the center of it. You can change the color, but you can see why you would make it, right, in K or M if you're talking about millions, right? Because it just makes it more, it fits better, it looks better, it's easier to read. So that's what I did here, right? And then I just wrote a simple parameter, inserted the reference line so I can move the reference line, and then a calculation so that I could change the colors of each one of the circles and the bars. And so I won't go into that too much. Happy to share the workbook so that you guys have access to this, right? But it's right, same strategy. It's just now I'm playing with 2 different layers. Last one, right? Just quick and easy, running sum of sales. I have a running sum here, 4 years. And what I'm really just doing is saying, well, look, I have on my top one, running sum of sales for each market. I can see the breakdown of each market. But when I'm using this chart by itself, it's going to be hard for me to do the math just quickly there together, right? You can see mouse over APAC, it's APAC. Mouse over EMEA, it's EMEA. What if I wanted the total running sum of sales? Easy. Take the original calculation, duplicate it, change it into a line, take region off so you stop segmenting it, change it to a black line, make it thicker, and then make it a dual axis, because now when you mouse over the very top line, you get the total, but then when you mouse over blue, you still get APAC, you still get EMEA, you still get each one of these. So just a quick and easy way for you to do that, straightforward, very simple. And the whole point of sharing it is because I want you guys to be comfortable with the concept, right? You have 2 layers to play with, and that should give you a lot of flexibility. So I'm going to hand it off to Celine to talk to you guys more about Tableau Live. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Awesome. Thanks, Jia. That was so impressive. I'm not sure I caught everything, but I'm definitely going to revisit that and watch it again and probably pick up some of those tricks. I mean, so cool. So, David, if I can get you to share the screen, I'm going to go talk a little bit about Tableau Live Asia Pacific. It's a great event that's coming up. It's a virtual conference, and I'm just going to introduce it a little, and you guys can get registered. So let's see. That's right. Thanks, David. So this is Tableau Live Asia Pacific. It's coming up on the 26th of August. If I can just get the next slide. So it is a virtual conference on the 26th of August, like I mentioned. The registration link is up here. Scan the QR code and go save a seat. There are limited seats despite being a virtual conference, so you want to lock in your seat early. It's a half-day event running from 11 a.m. all through 4 p.m. And it's not just going to be in English. There's going to be closed captions in Japanese, Korean, Thai, Bahasa Indonesia for our Southeast Asian folks, as well as Mandarin. So anyone and everyone is invited to attend. It's a great opportunity to learn, connect, and have fun with data. And like I mentioned, it's really for anyone. It's not just restricted to Tableau customers. You don't have to know about Tableau to join. So if you have friends who are interested, colleagues who are not yet using Tableau, hey, invite them and get them to register. We'll share this link as well in the description box after this live stream, so everyone can get access to the registration page. So if I can just get the next slide. What's happening at Tableau Live? So many things jam-packed within that few hours. There's going to be a keynote, and hey, guess who's going to be presenting at our keynote? I'm not going to give it away, but it's definitely someone here. We're also going to be having some breakout sessions, 3 of them to be specific. Topics include what's new in Tableau, how to be a data leader, as well as why are data skills important. There's then going to be some data discussion panels, which are also very exciting. There's going to be Data Plus Women, the power of data in financial services. So those of you in the financial services industry, this is something you'd be interested to listen. We're going to have speakers from companies from Asia Pacific, and they're going to provide great insight. And then we'll also be having a becoming a data leader discussion panel. So this is a great one for any of those any of your executives. This will be a great one to hear from your peers. We'll also have other activities from 2:40 onwards, which include peer-to-peer roundtables, Tableau Doctor virtual appointments. So do register and you'll find out how to save yourself a slot. So if I can just get the next slide. So how can you get involved in the lead up from now till the 26th of August? Just for all of you, we are going to be opening the photo booth really early. So it's going to be a week before the event on 17th of August. We'll be posting the links everywhere so you can get yourself a fun photo booth snapshot and then hashtag it, post it, share it on your social media, and let everyone know that this event is happening. It's a free virtual event for everyone, so do share and spread the word. You can also use the hashtag Tableau Live 20, so to get yourself, get the word out there and get trending. And lastly, how can you get involved on the day itself? If I can just get the next slide. Yeah, so we'll have peer-to-peer roundtables, like I mentioned, and these are really just small discussion groups that you can create on your own, or you can join one that's already ongoing. They are private or they can be made public, so feel free to, if you want to have a discussion with someone, get yourself your own roundtable, invite people in. They can be in any city or any language. It's all up to you, and topics are all also up to you. So take a look at what's happening at the Data Village. There's going to be so much happening there, and as well as the photo booth again, where you can take a fun selfie from the comfort of your home on your PC, and then you can share it again live on your social media. So now let's take a look at a fun short promo video of the event. So David.
Thank you. It's I guess that's kind of leading into the next thing. Thank you so much for that lovely
big
video.
announcement.
Yeah, the big announcement. So, as you may have picked up on a lovely, really thoughtful video. Thank you. I'm choking up. That's really sweet. Thank you. I've got some announcements to make regarding myself and the Singapore Tableau user group. Essentially, I'll take you through a quick little journey. Like, I've been doing this for over 5 years now. When I first joined or moved to Singapore, I bumped into this guy. And essentially, yeah, it was like needed help with the Tableau user group. I offered some help, and very quickly he's like, yes, please help. So I've kind of been stuck with this for quite a while, in a good way. But it's led me on such a great journey. Like, I've helped facilitate loads of great sessions along with Sarah and Jia, like just to make sure like we get you guys together, you all talk to each other, help each other out, share your skills, best practice, and it's awesome to see that still going, even in this virtual environment right now. It's led me to meet so many wonderful people at every Singapore Tableau user group and eat a lot of pizza. So it's always good. But no, the best thing is meeting all of you guys. It's led me on a kind of global journey too, where I've met loads of Tableau Zen masters, being one myself too. I've even got to meet the Flurlish twins, which is great. So it's just been such an awesome thing, and to realize the scale of the community at a global level. If you use Tableau, it's not just an awesome piece of software which is always updated by an army of engineers. It's also got an amazing community globally who are there to support you, and it's been an honor to like help foster that at the Singapore level with the user group. But so bit of good news is, or different news is I'm stepping down as one of the co-leads for the Singapore Tableau user group. But fret not, don't worry, it's in safe hands. These guys are here to keep running it, and hopefully we'll like grow the thing even more and keep it going. So yeah, it's been a brilliant journey. So and I'm going to keep talking, but essentially it's been great. Like, I've been a Tableau Zen Master 3 times. It's led me on an awesome experience, and I'm not going to go away anytime soon. I'm going to still keep making stupid videos on YouTube like this one. So yeah, keep sticking around, and it's going to be data viz related to help everyone out. But yeah, just you can expect more of that silliness. But yeah, I won't be a stranger. I'll still be attending the tugs. I'll still be online, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff to help everyone out. So yeah, say hi, reach out, give me a shout. But yeah, you'll still see me around. I'm not going forever. Yeah, just thanks for being such an amazing community, and I look forward to seeing where it goes next. And just on a side note, my co-leads have got me cupcakes, as you can see up here, and I'm not sure if you can see it too well, but I'm now only going to exclusively eat food with my face on it. So thank you for these cupcakes, they're very delicious. Thank you so much, and yeah, that's it from me. Thank you, everyone. See you around.
Awesome. Thanks, David. It's going to be very different without you there. And I saw on quite a few of those photos, towering above all of us. I don't think I've ever looked quite so short as when I stand next to you in the photos. I think we can all say the same. But it's been a great journey, and you've really helped us a lot and brought us up to kind of where we are now. So thank you. And we look forward to you attending, and yeah, maybe not standing up, but sitting down when we can meet again and do it face to face.
Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah, we'll miss you, David. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, guys. Well, yeah, that's a goodbye from a lead perspective, but it'll also be a hello from a participant perspective. But I guess the great thing about being remote is, we're all the same height.
There you go.
Good. So yeah, I won't be dwarfing anyone anytime soon. So yeah, I guess you guys want to wrap up and everything?
Yeah, I think so. Do we have a final slide? I can't recall.
We do, but it's the old pizza one, so there's no pizza. Sorry,
there's no pizza. No. Yeah. So thanks, everyone. It's been great tug. We used a little bit of a different format this time and tried to keep it within an hour. I think we kind of just went a little bit over. So do give us feedback. We try and host these every couple of months. Get on Tableau Live, like Celine said. It's it's restricted to the seats, and yes, one of us is the keynote speaker, which is very exciting. I'll say no more. And yeah, so enjoy, everybody. I hope you learned a lot, and if we did go a bit fast, do listen back. It'll be on the same link here. I know David's going to share some links over the kind of time that we have been virtual. There's loads of content out there. Do get in amongst it. And I think the new Tableau ambassadors are coming out soon. So watch that space as well. It's been great being an ambassador. And I'd like to thank the ambassadors here today that have joined us and shared tips as well. So thanks, everybody, and take care. I hope you're all safe. And until next time.
Until next time. See you guys soon.
Thanks, everyone. See you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank you, everyone.